strongly consider giving you tracking if you give me a UA today that's negative. You want to do that?
The answer to that, Your Honor.
You want to do a UA today? No. All right, so do not come back after Fiesta.
Yes.
And they were positive for meth, amphetamine, and marijuana. So he's in the box now. Strong? So I don't know if you want, all right, how are you feeling this morning?
Great.
All right.
Judge Boyd has seen it all, but these defendants, they showed up high and full of excuses. From wild stories to obvious fails, these are the top 5 times Judge Boyd faced defendants who could barely face reality. Trust me, you don't want to miss number 1.
And so I'm not trying to use that as an excuse or anything. I'm just saying it's been very tough. I lived in a shelter when I got arrested. Okay. When I got out, I had nowhere to go.
You're a 38-year-old, not a babe in the woods, and somebody tells you to move a vehicle.
Well, I ran the VIN number, because I saw the ignition like that. I ran the VIN number, the VIN number came up clean, so that's why I moved it.
All right, your story is not believable. I don't believe your story, but
Sure.
the agreement is for you to have deferred. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
How do you think?
All right, you're going to get drug tested today.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, 2 years deferred adjudication. Where are your children staying?
Right now, one stays here in Schertz, Texas, and the other 2 stay out in Matagorda County and Sargent, Texas.
All right, so you're not taking care of them.
Yes, Your Honor. I tell you, well, we're my 2 youngest are with their mom. Yes.
All right, are you paying child support?
Yes, Your Honor. I am.
How?
Through the state.
All right, so that means that you were not paying child support and they decided to go through the state to get their money. When this is something that people don't understand, when you're on probation, part of your conditions of probation is to support your dependents. So if you do not support them, a motion to revoke is going to be filed out of this court. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, 2 years deferred adjudication, $1,000 fine that will be probated. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. And probation, he says he owns a moving company. Can somebody make sure the truck that he's using has not been stolen? Just tell him to check to see if he's driving it with a screwdriver. There's to be restitution of $600 and no contact with Apollonia, APOLONIO, Abzio. 100 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. Court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. I'm going to want parenting classes with triple P. Once that's completed, the remaining of the community service hours be waived. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular UAs and field visits 1 time per month. And you're going to do a UA today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Probation, is there anything else he needs? And probation, if you all want to count that field visit as his reporting, you can. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful in this probation?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you. Do better and make your children proud, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Probation, no repetitions with you. I got it.
You have me excused, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you so much. All right, who's here on Hillary Stillman
I am, Your Honor.
today? All right, and that there is a child that may be without care.
Babysitter, we don't have a babysitter right now.
All right, so she can leave and she can leave you bus fare, but I'm getting my UA today. You understand?
But I don't have, The problem is right before I came to see you, I was with my attorney in the hallway and I used the restroom and I came in here.
That's okay.
So
We'll wait for you.
it's fine. It's, I guess what it is.
Yes.
All right,
We'll wait for your UA.
it's fine.
It's not a problem with the court.
Thank you.
Wait for your attorney, but you're not leaving the courtroom today.
Yes, Your Honor.
So we're not on the record, but you're aware you tested positive for meth, marijuana, and amphetamine. You're aware of that?
Meth and marijuana use.
All right, so why? Well, I'll wait for your attorney to come.
I'll answer your question.
No, I'll wait for your attorney to come, but you're not gonna be leaving the courtroom today, okay? All right, so we're gonna have you sit in the box, and we'll try to get your attorney. If not, we're gonna take you into custody, and we'll see you back here on Monday. Okay. Mr. Armstrong? Oh, if everybody could please whisper. Mr. Armstrong, I think it's best if you go into custody. We'll bring you back on Monday. I'll call probation to make sure a TAP evaluation is done for you, because you end up testing positive for a lot. And I don't think it's best for you to be around an infant. And I think-
I'm not around anything.
Well, but the problem is, you told me the reason why you needed to leave is because it was your vehicle and there was not a babysitter.
Yeah, I needed to drop them off at their house.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring you back for Monday, because I don't want you to leave this courtroom and end up using, because that may be the last time that you use, because you never know what you're getting, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
So we're gonna make sure that you come back here on Monday. So I'm gonna issue a warrant for you today. And it's just so that you can be taken into custody, and we'll bring you back over first thing on Monday, okay?
Sorry for lying to you, Your Honor.
No, I mean, here's the thing.
I was scared and I didn't know what to do and I know I was dirty and I'm sorry.
Well, I will tell you that people will tell you in this court. I'm just looking for people to be honest, because like I was telling you before, I'm trying to give you conditions so you can be successful. I take no pleasure in sending people to prison. If somebody's placed on probation, I want them to succeed so they can be better in life. Okay, all right, so we're gonna take you into custody today, and we're gonna have you brought back over on Monday, okay? All right, Norma, can we make sure we get him on Monday?
Yeah, he's on the docket.
All right, so you are on the docket for Monday, okay? All right. Okay, we'll solve it on Monday. All right, and I think we are done for today. At least that's what they're telling me. If we're not, I'm stating it, we're done.
All right.
It's Friday.
Hey, that's all I need.
Already?
Yes, but remember, we were waiting for the results of his UA,
Yes.
and they were positive for meth, amphetamine, and marijuana. So he's in the box now. So I don't know if you wanted to talk to him or if you want him brought up, and I'll sentence him, but I'm going to change and add referral to felony drug court.
Well, we can do that now, y'all.
All right. Court is calling 2022 CR 11229, State of Texas versus Christopher Armstrong. Christopher Armstrong, could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Half of the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Where do you get this from?
And are you Christopher Armstrong?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, how are you feeling this morning?
Great.
All right. And you understand why I took you into custody?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I did it hopefully for your protection. So the court had made a ruling, but I'm going to add to that. Counsel, your client was positive for methamphetamine, amphetamine, and marijuana. I didn't place him under oath to make any admissions because you were not here. But I would like to speak to him so I can figure out what conditions to place on him. Do you have any objections to that, counsel?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Armstrong, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Christopher Michael Armstrong.
All right, so Mr. Armstrong, you tested positive on Friday. Can you tell me how often are you using drugs?
Maybe once, twice a week.
Okay. And are you employed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have any children?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what are their ages?
17 and 13 are my two youngest.
All right, and what was the person who was here yesterday when you said they had to get home because there was a 3-month-old? What is your relationship to
That
them?
was my ex, that was my ex-girlfriend, but I was her ride that day. So,
Okay, why did your ex-girlfriend need you for a ride to court?
because she was coming to give me some support to come to court with me.
I don't understand I think relationships are what they are, but I don't understand an ex-girlfriend who has a babysitter for a 3-month-old who's not going to be there for the entire day coming down to support you on an unauthorized use.
I don't know, she was just there to give me support, like, just to go with me.
And is she using?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I don't know what Child Protective Services is doing, but what is her name?
Trisha Tahiti.
How do you spell her first name
Trisha, Trisha.
and her last name?
I would not be able to tell you that one. Tahiti.
And where does she live?
Off of 475. Hold on. Give me a
Sir, you
second.
need to have a seat.
Give me a second.
All right, just have a seat. We'll get to you.
Villa Drive. Villa, Villa.
So you say it's 475 Villa Drive
Yes, Villa Drive.
and it's Trisha, last name,
Tahiti.
Tahiti.
Yes.
And so there's a 3-month-old there and any other children other than the 3-month-old? And what drugs is she using?
The same. The child's not 3 months old. The child's like 7 years old.
All right, that doesn't make it any better, but okay. So the child is 7 years old?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And she's using meth as well?
I believe so. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so hopefully Child Protective Services will go to 475 Villa Drive to check on a 7-year-old with Trisha Tahiti. Again, this is not a Child Protective Services court. There's nothing I can do about that. My hands are tied, but probation.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sure Mr. Christopher Armstrong has lived at that address. So if you could have probation go out to 475 Villa Drive, just to check and see if it's appropriate housing for Mr. Armstrong.
Yes, Your Honor.
And if while they're there, they discovered that Miss Trisha Tahiti is using and the child is in danger, they can call Child Protective Services. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I will grant your application. So it's going to be 2 years deferred adjudication, $1,000 fine probated, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home healthcare provider with minors, restitution of $600, and no contact with Apollonia Albzio, ALBZIO, 100 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. Court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. Parenting classes with P, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular UAs. I'm going to want field visits 2 times per month. And you know what, instead of regular UAs, we'll do the UA hotline. And we'll start off with testing him once a week. And if probation feels like that should be decreased, then I'll leave that up to probation to do. And if probation wants to count the UAs or the field visits as reporting, probation can count that. And I'm going to want a TAP evaluation and felony drug court referral while in custody. Follow all recommendations of TAP. If TAP evaluation says inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. If they say outpatient treatment, I still want us to start with intensive outpatient treatment. And if you're released or when you're released, where will you be living?
8819 Secluded Drive.
8819,
Secluded, that's SECLUDED.
wait, SEC.
LUDED.
Oh, Secluded Drive.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Does anyone live there with you?
No, ma'am.
All right, and then no unsupervised contact with minors.
This one.
That will change, and it can change once you're into your sobriety. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court?
No, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, for some reason, I don't have his trial court certification. Could you, let me see if I can find it. Just one
I
moment.
think we did it, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Did you review the trial court certification with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Armstrong, with regards to the evaluation for the TAP evaluation in felony drug court, since it's a Monday, they'll be able to see you this week. So they'll probably see you no later than Wednesday.
Yes, Your
And
Honor.
then probation, if you want to accept their version of the TAP evaluation, you can.
Okay, do you want the top evaluation in custody? or-
Yes,
Okay, and Your Honor, on Friday, you mandated restitution, you ordered restitution,
yes,
still the same, correct?
yes, still the same, and it's $600.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Armstrong. We can go off the record. Mr. Armstrong, in this court, if I place somebody on probation, I want them to be successful at it.
Yes, Your Honor.
So the key to being successful on probation in this court is communication. You need to make sure you report, make sure you do your UA. You know, I understand that sometimes when people are struggling with addictions, they may test positive. But what I don't understand is when people don't report and they don't communicate. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you. Is there anything else you need?
No, Your Honor.
All right, good luck. Thank you,
Your Honor.
counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, my client really wants to get this behind her, and she hopes that the court follows the agreement we have with the state.
All right. Do you have any children?
Yes,
What are their ages?
I have 4 children. 2 of them don't live at home, but one's 12. It's turning 13 and 26.
All right, and who does 12-year-old live with?
With me and my husband,
Since when?
his birth.
All right, so what are you doing with cocaine on you?
I have no memory how any of that transpired. I hadn't been in any kind of trouble. I went to go and meet up with a friend and I had one drink. I remember having 2 or 3 sips out of it and I don't remember anything else. And I woke up and then came back and I was in jail. So I have no idea.
All right, so have you ever used cocaine before?
When I was 20 or 19, something like this, one time.
All right,
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's okay. So here's the thing, you're going to be drug tested today.
Okay.
And what are the results going to be? And here's the thing, just be honest with me. I'm inclined to grant your application. I'm trying to figure out what services you need so you won't end up doing 2 years at the state jail facility, potentially.
Mhm.
So when you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And you're going to get drug tested today.
It's probably gonna be marijuana and alcohol. And I don't think it was a coke, but I
So marijuana, alcohol, potentially cocaine.
yeah, because it was around the house. And that's why my husband, we're moving, so we're moving to get away from the people that have the
No,
stuff.
no, no. Why is cocaine around your house?
Like, we're moving, like, it's not my, okay, I'm sorry, it's not my.
No, why is cocaine around your house?
Partner.
Judge, I think she was saying she's moving, and the people that she lives with have the cocaine, that's why they're moving.
So, but why would she be positive for cocaine unless she's on the manufacturing line, potentially? I don't understand why she would test positive for cocaine.
I just thought that people said that it comes out of people's pores, and if you touch something, then you get it too. That's why I heard on.
So have you been touching people?
Just like, we live in the same place, so I was just thinking it meant,
Are you trying to say that you might have a contact? high or
yeah, something that's because I've been around it. that's all.
All right, so it is 10:16 a.m.
Mhm.
Why would you be positive for alcohol? It's morning time.
So I drank yesterday.
All right. And then the marijuana? Why would you be positive for marijuana?
Because I lasted in your system for like 3 weeks, right? Like 3 months or something. I
So
don't-
you have a 12-year-old and you're using marijuana, you're around people who have alcohol, who have cocaine just laying around an apartment. I don't understand why you have a 12-year-old living in that situation.
That's what we're moving.
Mhm.
I mean, like, I'm disabled. I want to get a disability check. So like, and he got a better job. So now we are able to get our own place away from all this other stuff so that we don't have to deal with it anymore.
Okay, at the end of the day, honestly, and I will tell you, your attorney has done child protective services cases. I don't understand why child protective services is not involved in your life when you're at Circle K and the officer is called out because they say you're causing a disturbance at Circle K and you had a previous criminal trespass there. And that officer tells you, you know what? Let me know where you need a ride. I'll give you a ride to that location so there won't be any problems. And you said, nope, I'm not taking a ride with you. And so he's getting ready to leave and you go right back to Circle K causing issues. And this is not the first time you had a criminal trespass with the Circle K.
Actually, it is. But I know.
No, it's not, according to the report. All right. I don't know why Child Protective Services is not involved in her life. Child Protective Services should be involved in her life because marijuana, alcohol, cocaine, 12-year-old around marijuana, alcohol, cocaine does not mix. So I'm going to do what I can do to protect the child and hopefully set conditions for her where she will be successful. And I'm going to give you these conditions. And if you miss any of these appointments, a warrant is going to be issued for your arrest. Do you understand? Are you employed?
No,
How do you support yourself?
I get disability
Disability for what?
for bipolar disorder.
All right. Okay. It's ADHD and bipolar. That's what people always get disability for. So how long have you been diagnosed with bipolar?
Since I was 25.
Okay. And has your 12-year-old been diagnosed with anything?
I mean, he's got ADHD, but we don't, they say,
And is she getting SSI for her ADHD?
no.
Court is going to sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 4 years. There's a $500 fine that will be probated. There's going to be proof of employment or SSI within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. 100 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once she completes parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. We can do a TAP evaluation out of custody. Follow all recommendations. If they recommend inpatient treatment, she'll go into inpatient treatment. There's going to be 180 sober meetings in 180 days. Probation, sorry, I'm going to need you to do Child Protective Services job or help them with their job. I'm going to ask for field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And probation is you can let them know. She says there's a 12-year-old at the home, and to make sure they check on the 12-year-old. Probation, is there anything else she needs? All right, thank you. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person and the UA hotline until further notice. And there's to be no contact with Circle K. Let's see where this is located. At 5494 Babcock Road. 78 240. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Oh, see this.
Did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Probation, if you can make sure that she gets a UA no later than tomorrow. In this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If you have an issue, you need to let probation know. Do not come at them with this, I don't remember thing. If you're gonna use, pick up the phone, call probation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you feel as though they're not addressing the issue, you can always come back to me. Do you understand?
Yes.
And I think you should know that a 12-year-old should not be living in the situation that you have that 12-year-old living in. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. When you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And you will be drug tested today.
Clean. I haven't done no.
All right, so we're going to do a drug test today, and then I'll make my sentence.
Sure.
All right, so are you able to go to the restroom now?
I think so.
All right, so we're going to do a UA today. All right, we are back on the record in 2023 CR 3275, State of Texas versus Robert Pettis. All right, Mr. Pettis, you took a UA. What do you think the results were?
Negative.
Your Honor, it's my understanding that it came back positive for
A meth?
methamphetamine. And I spoke to my client. He is adamant that he has not used any narcotics. I even admonished.
Let me do this. You gave up your right to remain silent. You're under oath. Why do I have a positive UA for meth? And let's do this. We're going to start over as though this is my first time talking to you, okay? So why would you be positive for any drug? Think back in your mind. Were you around somebody? Did you use something?
Maybe I was around somebody and
All right.
touched it.
So,
I don't know.
so you were around somebody and maybe you touched it?
I don't know. I don't know how it works, man. But
All right, everyone needs to whisper, and I'm sorry, sir, you need to speak up. I'm having trouble hearing you. The court reporter is.
okay.
So how would you end up testing positive? And state, I believe this is your case still. So other than touching meth, how might you have rendered a positive UA for the court?
That's the only way I know how I got it, because I mean, I have a lot of family members that, you know, I don't know how I would.
When's the last time you used?
The day that I got arrested.
And what's your drug of choice?
I don't have a drug of choice.
Here's the thing. You are agreeing to be on probation.
Yes.
When I ask these questions, I'm asking these questions so I can figure out what conditions you need so you can be successful. I have sent people to prison before. Probation will tell you that. Your attorney will tell you that. The deputies will tell you that.
Yes, sir.
And I always try to give people the tools they need to be successful so I don't have to send them to prison. I take no joy in sending people to prison, but I will send you to prison potentially if you violate probation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm trying to figure out what conditions you need so you can be successful. Now, if you want to stand before me and pretend that you're positive for meth because you previously touched meth from somewhere else, then what you're telling me is you don't need any drug treatment. And if you're telling me you don't need any drug treatment, I had better not get a motion to revoke because you're testing positive. And I can tell you right now, I'm going to put you on the UA hotline. So again, we're back to Why are you rendering a positive UA to me for meth? And you need to be honest. And if you're saying, hey, I haven't used drugs since this day, then I will send you off into this world with no drug treatment because obviously you don't need any. You have made your program and your program has been successful. You know why you're positive for meth. I was not with you. Your attorney was not with you. So if you want to continue with, I don't know how I got positive for meth, and maybe I touched meth, and tell me you don't need any drug treatment, I will not give you any. You will be on the UA hotline. And what I can tell you on the UA hotline, it's random and you test weekly.
All right, Mama. I don't want to disrespect you or nothing, but I might have like 3 days, 4 days ago, maybe.
All right, so why are you being dishonest with me? Why do I have to pull teeth for you to tell me what your issues are so I can give you conditions so that you can be successful? Obviously, the state wants you to have probation. They offered it.
Okay.
You accepted it. I want you to be successful at probation because otherwise you're just wasting everybody's time. And I could just say, oh, let's just send you to prison for 5 years. Is that what you want?
I do not want that. You're
So let's pretend like this is the first time I'm speaking to you.
Okay.
When have you been using meth and how often?
I don't, I mean, it's a recreational thing, I guess. I mean, I'm not, I would just,
I don't know.
I mean,
Your attorney was not with you, so he doesn't know how often you use drugs.
if it says positive, I guess, I mean, yeah, I'm positive, but.
No,
And Your Honor,
it's-
if I may, I've admonished him that if he was honest about any usage, that he can go ahead and tell it without repercussions of fear of additional charges or anything like that. And this is mainly just to determine treatment programs, if any are necessary, and that he doesn't have to be concerned about being forthcoming and honest at this point in time, because it's not like he's going to be looking at facing additional charges.
no. So what's your drug of choice and how often are you using?
Every weekend, I guess, I would say.
Well, I mean, let's not guess. You know how often you're using drugs. And here's the thing. It is 12:46 p.m. Everybody in here wants to have lunch.
Okay.
Some of us, like myself, I haven't even had breakfast. So let's not have me continue to pull teeth from you.
Yes, ma'am.
Just be 100% honest. You're old enough. You're not a child. So just be honest with me. How often are you using meth?
Like once a week, ma'am.
When's the last time you used?
Like 4 days ago or
Don't tell me 4 days ago because it
3
wouldn't
days
still
ago.
be in your system.
3.
Was it Monday? Today is Monday. Did you use today?
No, ma'am.
Did you use yesterday?
No, ma'am. The day before.
All right, so you used on Saturday.
Yeah.
And were you taking care of your children on Saturday?
No, ma'am.
All right. So this is what the court is going to, I'm sorry, are you employed? What do you do?
I'm a mechanic, ma'am.
No one wants you fixing their brakes if you're high. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to 5 years in prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. There's to be gang supervision, $2,000 fine, probated, TAP evaluation. Follow the recommendations of TAP. If TAP recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. I'm going to want 90 sober meetings in 90 days. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. We're going to do parenting classes and probation. It can either be compadre, triple P, or rainbows. And once he completes parenting classes, the court will deem 150 hours of community service restitution satisfied. I'm going to want the UA hotline until further notice. Proof of employment. within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. No unsupervised contact with minors until further notice. Field visits one time every 3 months until further notice. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Just 1 second. Did I say regular reporting?
You did not.
All right, regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Okay. Is there anything else, probation?
You want to do a felony drug court referral?
Yes, we can do felony drug court referral, but the issue may be
Oh,
the gang membership.
Yeah.
So it's the Lost Boys or something. What is it called? It's in the police report.
Yes, ma'am. LA boys. But
Yeah, LA Boys.
But that's when I was a kid.
All right, well, we can see.
When I was a kid, man.
All right, what does LA stand for? Is that supposed to be Los Angeles?
Lanier Athletics.
Oh, Lanier Athletics. Okay. All right. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am. I'm sorry for wasting people's time.
No, it's just, I like for people to be honest with me, especially when everybody's trying to help you be a good father to your children and be a good citizen, okay? All right, I'm showing you that's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. You're gonna have to do better.
Yes,
You have
ma'am.
children,
I will.
okay?
I will, ma'am.
All right, and if there's an issue in this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. So if there's an issue, discuss it with probation. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can always come into court.
Thank you.
All right, good luck to you.
Okay. Thank you.
You
Your Honor, I just had a quick question, just a general question. I didn't recall if you allow buying out of community service hours or not.
No, not in every case. In this case, I'm not going to allow him to buy out.
Okay.
He needs to stay busy.
Yeah, because we were discussing it and I wasn't sure if I had the correct answer because I said I thought that sometimes you allow for a food bank there or Carver
Yes.
Center.
Yes.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. But I will tell you, I'm saying no now to him. But if you want to come back at a different time when he's been on probation for a while, then the court will consider it.
Yes, Your Honor. And I keep in touch with him and then
Mhm.
if there's other amendments or things, we'll try to approach the court before it becomes a problem.
If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? All right, what are you going to be positive for? And what else? All right, you're going to get drug tested today. So you want to stick with just marijuana?
Says marijuana.
All right, so here's the thing. If it's more than marijuana, we're gonna have some issues because you're being dishonest with me. When I place people on probation, my goal is for them to be successful on it. So if you don't,
If I
yes.
may, Your Honor, there's always a possibility that somebody. could
All right, well,
be
let's do
laced with
this.
something.
What's the possibility that you may be positive for something other than marijuana? Because maybe somebody put something in a cigarette that you didn't know about. All right, so there's a possibility that it may be cocaine, and what else? That, again, that someone may have put in a cigarette that you know nothing about. Okay, so cocaine, meth, and marijuana, and what else? Are you sure? All right.
They're always lacing the stuff with fentanyl as well.
Oh, there could be other things, you know, it could be other things.
Just
Okay,
let the
all
court know.
right. Because I don't, you know, we have drug testing that we can do here today. And we can get an answer from me right away. But oh, I don't like to spend money unnecessarily if we don't have to.
I understand.
All right, are you employed?
No, ma'am, I take care of my disabled son.
All right, so we're gonna have to come up with a better plan because I can't have someone who may be on marijuana, cocaine, and methamphetamine taking, well, I don't know why you're rolling your eyes at me.
Your Honor, if I may,
Mhm.
I think it's an unnatural or a natural demeanor or disposition of her. She
I
tends to
under-
do it at all.
Okay, here's the thing, I understand, and I understand that
sorry.
people make, no problem, I understand that sometimes people are nervous, but I can't have her, until we get this drug problem under control, I can't have her having unsupervised contact with a 10-year-old. So you're not gonna be allowed to be alone with him, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I want you to be honest with me. Are you really taking care of him or
Yes,
it's his
ma'am.
grandmother?
No, me.
All right, so does his grandmother know all this that's going on in your life?
No, ma'am.
All right. So do you have a significant other in your life?
No, ma'am, it's just me.
All right. So this is what the court is going to do. It's going to be 2 years deferred adjudication, $1,000 fine, probated. I'm going to want her in felony drug court. You're going to be referred to felony drug court. And this dancing that you did with me about something that may or may not be in a marijuana cigarette, don't do this with them.
Yes,
Just be upfront and honest with them because you really need the help. Because otherwise, you know what's going to end up happening? You're going to end up losing custody of your son. Okay?
yes, ma'am.
So I want a referral to felony drug court. I'm going to want the UA hotline until accepted. And can you let felony drug court know this is an emergency?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's going to be $200 restitution and no contact with Amber Times.
Your Honor, if I may, on a no contact with Ms. Times, I've had an opportunity to talk with her, as have the state. In fact, she's in the courtroom at this time, and she is okay with there being a no harmful contact in the injurious, or no contact in a harmful or injurious manner. They do kind of flow in the same areas, and so I would not want.
Where's Ms. Times?
Ms. Times, would you please stand up?
Ms. Times, there should be no contact. We can't have people stabbing people in a neighborhood because let me just tell you what ends up happening. There's some person who's minding their own business in their neighborhood, just probably trying to have a relaxing evening, maybe barbecuing or something. And then they have to deal with all this foolishness with screaming and stuff going on and people saying I stabbed somebody because they disrespected my company. So there's not to be any contact. All right, thank you. So there should be no contact with Amber Times, $200 restitution. Ms. Times, do you still want your $200 restitution? That could probably help her out.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so she still wants her $200 restitution. We're gonna do parenting classes. There should be regular reporting and probation. I'm sorry to do this to you, but I'm gonna need field visit 4 times per month to make sure that her child is okay and that she's not having unsupervised contact. There should be no unsupervised contact with minors. I'm gonna want proof of employment within 30 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or minors. How are you supporting yourself?
I take care of my son, so it's on Social Security.
Yeah, that Social Security is for your son. It's not for you.
I know.
So, okay. I'm gonna want 150 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do and you present proof, 40 of those hours will be waived. The remaining of the hours will be waived once you provide proof of successful completion of parenting classes. If she's not accepted into felony drug court, please let me know immediately. We're going to do something else. All right. I tell you what, just go ahead and do a tap as well. All right, probation. Is there anything else that she needs?
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, did I say report? Yes, I did say regular reporting.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? All right, I'm gonna show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, you're gonna have to do better for your child. State, what are you doing with 2020 CR 4845?
Judge, it will be dismissed, but not sure in what form, but we plan to get rid of it
All right, when is that gonna happen?
today.
All right, thank you.
Yes. And Judge, we have impact statement also.
Is this an impact statement from the person who wants to have contact with her?
She doesn't want to have contact. She didn't care either way. Was
Oh, there's no, she said she has nothing she wants to say. Is that
No.
correct? Thank you, Ms. Times. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, that will be all. Probation will go over conditions with her.
Thank you very much.
Right. I will strongly consider giving you tracking if you give me a UA today that's negative. You want to do that?
The answer to that, Your Honor.
You want to do a UA today?
No.
All right, so do not come back after Fiesta, because obviously if I get a UA, that UA is not going to be clean. And you should be doing some sober meetings, because you shouldn't be taking care of your children when you're using, we're off the record. What are you going to be positive for?
Meth and marijuana.
All right, and who is here with you? Who are you, sir?
My boyfriend.
Do you live with her and her children? Why are you here today? Why are you not at work? Do you have a job? You should probably be out somewhere looking for employment. That's how best you can support people. Because right now, because you don't have employment, guess what? Somebody else is supporting you. And how old are you? I'm sorry? You're 21 and somebody is supporting you, a grown adult, because you're coming here to support her. Have you been around her children? And if you were drug tested today, what are your tests going to be? Tell the truth, shame the devil. What is your result going to be? Yeah, so I got 2 adults using drugs around children. No. And you know what? Your curfew is going to get tightened up, because obviously something else is going on. What's her curfew? What's your curfew time?
6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Well, that's going to stop. And do you have employment, really?
No, I do not have employment.
Yeah.
I
So,
would like employment. I live in almost in the middle of nowhere, and my vehicle, whenever I got arrested, I had just bought from a girl that I met in rehab, and we lived at the shelter together, and I wasn't able to get the title to it. When I got out, I had my vehicle still, but it wasn't legal, and I don't have my vehicle anymore because using it, it's gotten impounded, and the girl that I bought it from, I can't get a hold of her.
Yeah.
And
all right. So here's the thing. How old are your 2 children?
Anna is 7 and Aiden is 4. And I also have a 9-year-old. She lives with her dad. I'm just here to be completely honest. You know, I do want help. I do want recovery. This isn't what I chose. When I got arrested, I had just had 1 year sober. I've been sober for a year on crimes that I did not commit. My life has been really hard. I was in there for 5 months. I spent the first week not knowing who, what, when, where, why I had these charges. And so I'm not trying to use that as an excuse or anything. I'm just saying it's been very tough. I lived in a shelter when I got arrested. Okay. When I got out, I had nowhere to go. I'm lucky to even be out. My bond was so high. And I had met these people right before I got arrested. I only met them once. They offered me a room, you know, and they helped me get out of jail. It all turned out to be under guise for something else. And
No, talking about, how old are you?
I'm 28 years old.
Why would you meet some random people
I was in jail.
and you then start living with them and you have children with you?
They weren't completely random. I just didn't know them all too well.
And are your children physically living with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And where are your children right now?
They're at school.
All right. So,
I will do anything and everything I would.
what you're gonna do is you're gonna have a seat right over in that box. Could somebody please pick up the phone? Call next door to Child Protective Services. So that we don't have somebody who's high on meth with marijuana taking care of children. Could somebody pick, well, everybody? I don't remember the number. I haven't worked over there in so long. I think it's 335 627 something. But she needs treatment. And I can't have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old living with you. You're using meth and marijuana. You have a boyfriend here who doesn't have a job, who's using meth and marijuana, which you shouldn't even have in your life. Excuse me, sir, did you drive her down? All right, you can give her change for via bus or something, but you all should not be together because you are enabling each other.
I don't live a bus in it.
I'm sorry, what?
I will get her home.
You don't have to do that, Mr.
I will.
Thank you, Mr. Young. So what we're gonna do is I'm trying to get you help, trying to get your children help. So we're gonna get a CPS worker to hopefully get help for her and her children and get you drug treatment because you need all of that. And I can't do, there's only so much I can do with your cases because they're aggravated robberies. I can't refer you to felony drug court because you're not under my jurisdiction for that. But you need help and your children need help.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
All right, because the last time you use may be the last time you use because you never know what you're getting.
You're right.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to have you remain in the courtroom, Mr. Young, and we'll see if we can get her some help and get her children some help. Thank you, Mr. Young.
Are we released in your own?
Well, she needs to remain in the courtroom.
I know that.
Yes, yes.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Are we going to trial? Or are
No,
we
we're not going to go.
release?
Well, I don't want to send you to trial today when she is positive for drugs. So, I mean, that's not an excuse for everybody, but obviously there are more things going on with the positive for drugs, trying to see what to do with her children who are in school. So she's not going to be going to trial today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. But
He's not in custody, is that correct?
no, she's not in custody.
In the box.
In the box.
Yes, in the box. We've already had someone speak to her about helping her with the minor children who are in her care. But what I need is for somebody from pretrial services until CPS is actively in her case with her safety plan. If someone can make sure that they go out to visit her home to make sure that the children are okay. And my understanding is that the children are going to be picked up from school today and everything is going to be explained to them about the family-based services. Is that correct? Yes. But if I could get somebody from pretrial services to go out to her home today. All right. So she's going to give me a number.
Okay.
And then is there anything else that's going to be happening with her? Okay. So what I'm going to do is, Norma, I want this case recalled for Monday because I want to make sure everything is on track. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I know where Monday would not be a good day to call it back.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah. All right. What I'm going to do is we'll recall it back. Can we recall this back on the 24th? All right, we're going to come back on the 24th and I'm going to see where you are. People can only help you as much as you want to be helped. I overheard you saying that you've been in felony drug courts before, and I know that's a great program.
Yes, you put me in it.
Yeah.
I got to.
So you got to do better.
It wasn't for these charges. I would have completed it successfully and you tell me where I would have been.
But see, here's the thing. things happen in everybody's life. Everybody's life goes through ups and downs. I don't know anybody on the planet whose life is always up here and they never had any problems. Okay, other than John Young, your attorney. But people, things hit you, waves hit you. But when waves hit you, the answer is not, let me go back to what I know, when what you know is not great for you. The answer is, yeah, all you had to do was pick up the phone, call your sponsor, and you should have one, and say, hey, this is what's happened to me. These charges are not, good charges. I didn't do this. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I'm going to use. Then your sponsor will tell you, no. What we do is, these are the steps we take. We don't start using. So don't blame your problems on someone else. The choices that you make, those are not to be blamed on somebody else.
You're right, and I'm not proud of him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I do want to help.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see what's happening. Ms. Ferguson. All right. Can you give her a reset form for April 24th? So we're going to call you back on April 24th. And when you come in here on April 24th, I want you to be clean. Do you understand? And she's going to remain on GPS, and on the GPS monitor. I am not doing that. You said it was 6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
I believe that's what she said.
We're not doing that anymore because that's not working for you. You understand? So I'm going to put her curfew, and your curfew is going to be 7 a.m.
I believe she puts the kids on the bus at 7 a.m. So I think she has to leave.
But I think they're going to do a family-based service plan.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So we're going to do your curfew from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And if there's some sort of violations of that, let me bring them back in. Sorry to bring you back, guys. So on Samantha Richards, I'm going to change her curfew to 7. I'm going to change her curfew to 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now, her attorney is telling me she has to put the children on the school bus. So I'm giving Child Protective Services a week to get the family-based services plan worked out. So if there is a violation of GPS for this week and next week, and if it's because she's dropping children off at school, don't file it. But after the 24th, if there's some more issues, then I'll ask for you to go ahead and file violations on her. Because Child Protective Services is trying to work through getting the children with a different relative, getting her in family-based services. So her curfew is going to be 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. That's it. And our school's off for Battle of the Flowers. All right, so she shouldn't be going anywhere on Battle of the Flowers Day because school is out on Battle of the Flowers here. So that Friday, she shouldn't be going anywhere. And then I'm going to reset her for April 24th. And at that time, I'll know what Child Protective Services is doing. And I'm still working on getting the phone number for you guys.
Yes, ma'am. So are we doing this up until Child Protective Services gets involved? We're doing
Yes.
home visits every day?
Yes, until the children have been taken, been placed with other relatives. And, as I said before, you may not have to go out there. I'm just waiting for the person who's here to give me a number so that you all have a number. So you may be able to call to check to see if it's been done. But even with calling and checking, I want at least one visit to our home, even if Child Protective Services is taking things over, because we have a boyfriend who's using it as well. They say they don't live together and they probably shouldn't be living together. Thank you.